Welcome to another episode of the True Beast podcast, brought to you by xdog.com, where you can find the world's greatest fitness and health enhancement harness for dogs, the X-Dog Weight and Fitness Vest. In addition, you're going to find amazing nutrition like Crafted Kibble. What is Crafted Kibble? I'm glad you asked, Trevor. Crafted Kibble we have a kibble called True Beast, which is a crafted kibble. It's a small batch. It has 572 calories per cup, which is the highest in this industry, highest in the industry when it comes to that standards. And I know some of you guys are going to say, no, 600 is, but I'm talking about in its standards, which is meat as being the first ingredient. In addition to, you're going to find amazing treats, some of the most nutritious training treats on the market. I'm talking about pure green buffalo tribe. In addition to beef liver, and of course toppers, freeze-dried toppers. There's bone and organ topper, and we know the importance of that. What else can we find? Glad you asked again, Trevor. You can find supplements that go above and beyond industry standards. I'm talking about supplements that literally are based and made with superfood ingredients. So check out xdog.com when you get an opportunity. And today we're going to talk about how to embrace your L's and the importance of embracing L's. I think a lot of people have the wrong perspective of them, and if you don't actually respond to them correctly, I've seen a lot of people just quit chasing their dreams because of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what is one of the biggest losses you've taken? Then we'll get into what an L looks like, how it feels, how it makes you feel.
Well, I would say just about every step I've taken, man, on the way up, I've had L's, thousands of L's, right? Like, I don't know if, say, one of the biggest ones there, I think a lot of the big ones had to do financially, right? Like, bad hires, investing into wrong products, those type of things where I took some massive financial losses, right?
Yeah.
And they were very expensive learning lessons. I mean, Meek Mill talks about expensive pain. Those were freaking painful, especially like some of those L's too, man. I took to heart because being an entrepreneur and a business owner, you're gonna hire people, man, and you're gonna hire people that are your friends, or you think they're your friends, and you put your heart and soul into them, and they fuck you over, and for a minute, for a while, you hold on to those, and you're like, damn, man, I put my heart and soul. I thought this individual was a true friend of mine, but the reality is that I can't blame them. I put them in the position to do that, and where I used to blame other people for things, I learned, man, how to embrace those L's and go, okay, this is a learning curve. This is a great learning curve that's going to help me grow, and I learned a lot from it. Even though it was expensive, I did learn a lot from it.
Yeah, and so what's crazy is I was training somebody this morning, and I was talking to them about penance. And penance is one of those things, if you're familiar with, it's basically self-inflicted pain, so that you can basically come out on the other side. What is happening is people continue to repeat bad choices over and over again because they don't learn from it. When you don't put yourself through anything after making a bad choice, you become what I call a repeat offender.
Yeah.
Yields a short conversation. When you come back to me the second time, hey, this isn't how I tell you good luck.
Yeah.
If I had a conversation the first time, we're done here. So part of the lessons that you learn in losses require a lot of self-reflection. And I think we've talked before about putting pride and ego to the side. If you really want to be successful, you have to be a sponge.
Yeah.
I was listening to something Tyson was talking about earlier today on stage, and one thing is for sure about any of the greats, they're sponges, right?
Yeah.
You go back to Ray Lewis, the guy who used to play for the Browns, that was his coach at one point. He said I came to the where Ray was in Baltimore, and I thought I was gonna have this issue because he's been successful and such. And when I got there, he literally said, "Coach, what do you want to teach me? I've been dying to learn from him." He said, "I couldn't believe it. This is Ray Lewis, 10 years in the league, top 5 defenses for 10 years straight."
Yeah.
And he's still knowing to be great at anything, you have to advocate the opportunity to learn from the best of them. And the day you think you know everything, you become a new fool.
Yeah, I think, like you said, man, ego and pride get in the way of a lot of things. I mean, especially like when you're talking about, if you're in the dog training business, there's a lot of ego and pride and just, I guess, you don't have to always agree with other people in your field, but just understanding that it's okay that they have a different perspective from you and that you're not always right. And I think a lot of the ego drives trainers to combat against each other, breeders, especially in certain communities, to go against each other.
Sure.
And so I think that's one of the things why I really like watching dog sports, because usually the numbers, it's less political in a lot of cases. I guess if it's something with a measurable result, I don't know, maybe like on certain dog sports or protection sports, probably getting to know the judges helps, you know, building these relationships and the political side of things. I don't know. But I've also seen people who, friends of mine who are breeders, and they would have a litter and you could just tell, you know, you can kind of tell when a pup is going to be a legit star, and maybe they took an L on that, you know? And it's kind of crazy, right?
But you know, if you're breeding or if you're building a business, the one thing you're going to learn very quickly is how to fail.
Yeah.
One of the sayings in Silicon Valley specifically is fail fast. Because the faster you fail, the more experience you have, and that experience is what they value more than anything. And you know, of course, hopefully you learn from it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Some people keep burning through millions and millions of dollars and like, hey, I'm gonna get it. No, bro, you're not. You gotta get your. Most people don't really. Elon Musk was kicked out of PayPal because they just was like, you're going the wrong way. He wanted to call it net. They were like, no, we're gonna go .com. He disagreed. They voted him out, and they were right because they sold to eBay. So when we look at perspective, a lot of times, I tell people all the time, there's a reason why there is a CEO, why there is a chair, why there is a board of directors, because if you're smart, you don't know everything.
Yeah.
And the smartest thing you could do is ask for direction. And that might mean at the table, we basically come to agree to disagree, but we learn, we maybe test something out, we figure the rest out.
Yeah.
But the one thing I tell people, you need a board of counsel, even in real life, like on personal shit.
Yeah.
Like, yo, get your board of counsel. I know that I'm tumultuous and a little bit aggressive.
Do you have a board of counsel?
Absolutely. There's a guy named Edwin Birch.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I called Tim Callahan, which he checks on me. He said, "Motherfucker, I thought you was gonna call me. That's my probably one of if I died and had to come back, I would want to be Tim. I know a guy just the last time I was there in Kansas City who was recruited for college and wanted to get back in coaching. He could go up, but because he met Coach Callahan, recruited kid, he came there just to coach under this man in high school.
Yeah.
Most people don't know who Tim is, but one of the best men I've ever met in my life. So when you want to be corrected, he's the only person that can tell me to shut up.
Yeah.
And I just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then we have a discussion later. He walked me through better ways to do things, how to communicate, basically how to be a better man.
Yeah.
To say the least.
What would you say some of your biggest losses were?
Oh man, first and foremost, unfortunately, I lost everything at a very young age, so I got used to losing, which is why I have this mentality. I don't have anything.
Yeah.
The ones who think I got everything, I got shit, man. And this, it doesn't even affect me, but let me be very clear. We're 2021 right now, right?
Yeah.
In the past 3 years, my mother, for instance, she's lost both her sisters and her 2 parents.
Yeah.
And the one sister just died this past Saturday from COVID.
Damn.
So when I say lost, I remember 18 looking at one of my buddies chasing him off in a casket. And from where I'm from, you get used to losing so quick, so early that, my mom's crying on my shoulder in my grandfather's room. It doesn't even affect me. Like, I'm sad for it, but the losses, they added up so little. I might not even know what a win feels like. And that's actually one of my fears. I was talking to a counselor, just to be clear. And I said, one of my concerns is getting to the top of the mountain, having 100 million people with me and still not being able to recognize the work I've done and how I even got here.
Yeah.
Like not being able to be in that moment and feel how good it is to help so many people, right?
Yeah.
And it's still not being good enough.
Yeah.
Because I've taken so many losses. To be clear, everything's an L. Everything's an L. I wouldn't even know what it feels like to win, man. That's why I work so hard.
Yeah, it's like, I think like all our life, we're told to be a good sport, not to be a sore loser. But then you have people like Gary Vee, he's like, dude, I'm a sore loser. Like, I hate losing. And I think that's almost like a perspective where it's like, I think it's okay to be a sore loser. I was a sore loser when I was a kid. I hated losing, man. I can't stand losing.
I'm bold for that reason. I'm like, I ain't practicing enough. I ain't bold.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, just bowl. I'll sit and watch everybody bowl for 3 hours straight, but I'm not bold. I don't do this.
You don't bowl?
Look, if I don't do it, I don't do it. You can't pay me to trip. Come on, I'll come hang out. But I'm not bowling. I suck at it. Only because I didn't practice.
Have you, obviously you have, but what are some of like, I guess the most memorable losses that you've witnessed as far as like having friends or just people you don't even know that you've seen that you would have probably took a different turn to?
So the irony is that's never been my issue. And when it comes to friends.
Yeah.
And I tell you this, I'm using people's names. These are real people. Pop off. Gene one time, he said, Trevor, I want to get in business. I said, Gene, you smoke too much weed.
Yeah.
And part of the weed keeps you distracted. So you drive your lunch, you get a $60 ounce. So then you go and smoke the rest of the day. Then you eat up everything. I was very clear at a very young age about people and the value they needed to bring because my dad made me see the value.
Yeah.
I literally came home one time and said, so-and-so, Marcus, my friend, he was like, what makes you think they're your friends? My dad's an asshole.
Yeah.
It's always questioning everything.
Yeah.
Kind of like I do now.
Yeah.
And he literally made me grab a dictionary and look up friends in the 8th grade. Matter of fact, I think 7th grade. That's when I met Marcus. And at that moment, he said, he's a fucking associate. And I understood very quickly the value of friends. And it's funny, me and my friend, who's a girl, who probably knows better, she just said, you can't tell me how many friends, you just got a best friend Rich. And that was this year, 30-something years old. And it takes a lot because I understand value and how I want to be valued.
Yeah.
And what is of value. One thing that I was taught, terminal value, just back on the losses thing, is work.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, none of my friends, they could outwork me. They still can't.
Yeah.
They still can't outwork or outdo me. So I had no interest in even calling these people friends. In 4 years of high school in the hood, one Negro came to my house, and that was Stephen Manning, and he did 13 years in prison. Like, and my mom would tell you, like, nobody, I don't trust nobody, and I have severe, but that come from their roots, right? So when it comes to people getting in business, I got good at most of the things because I just don't fuck with people.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And if I can't see what they're doing, like, oh, you're not doing anything. Why would I add more work to my table? Yeah. And I told you want to be my friend. We don't want to get into business with me. You won't like me, man. Yeah. Because I value my name too much. And it's so, I had 14 schools in Kansas. Kansas is black and white. It's not a racist place, but it ain't. Yeah. I grew up in Illinois. Yeah, so it ain't a racist place, but it's like, it's black and white. Dude, I dealt with so much racism growing up, just being half Asian. There you go. Yeah. So a black dude in Blue Valley, Olathe, Shawnee Mission, Rockhurst, which was ranked 7. I'm the only person in 3 to 5 programs working with hundreds of kids. Yeah. And other people tried and couldn't figure out how'd you do it. Quality, intent, purpose, drive, focus, being who I said I'm going to be, knowing my product, knowing my service, and executing everything. Yeah. I don't ever want to wake up with the thought of waking up and someone saying, oh, so mess with a kid. Oh, that frightened the shit out of me. So I'm like, nah, I can't even bring nobody in because I don't trust them. Yeah. So trust at the foundation, I think, of any friendship is everything, but I trust what people can do. Yeah. And unfortunately, even, coming in contact with you, I knew, first day I met you, just looking at the moves you were making, be it fast, quick, slow, whatever, you knew your product, you knew your business, and I knew you were valued, so I'm like, you're on a mission, and Rich said it the other night, we only got 2 modes, let's go. Yeah, and I think a lot of people miss the boat on that when it comes to their product. People, including myself for a long time, I sold myself short, you know what I mean? Like the selling, a lot of selling has to do is not with like the end result of like a certain, a lot of people are like, well, what does the vest do? And I can say it increases speed, increase performance. I can tell you that it combats obesity, but the mission is the product. We want to eliminate canine obesity, and we need a lot of people on board. If you want to be on board, great. If you don't want to be on board, great. We're still moving forward. Absolutely. And the passion is the part of the product, and people can read if your shit's authentic or organic or they can. Yeah. Energy is a real thing. We're living in that space now where people are more connected to energy and energy exchange. Yeah. But just on the L part, I don't know if I even completely answered. I didn't really take many losses because I cut friends out. My dad poured a lot of value into me, and I knew I didn't belong in certain settings, literally. Yeah. And I didn't want to put my time and my life at risk. So when it comes to friends and business, I'm 2 different people. And realistically, the same asset. I think everybody should be. One of the things that I've always noticed on online and stuff is when, let's say for example, you got people competing in dog sport, when the judge hasn't selected their dog as the winner, it's almost like they're kennel blind, or they may have a fucking foot in the game when it comes to that. Like they may be on point. I mean, what are your thoughts on that as far as like? I think you need to read, kind of like for instance, I just learned that the actual Frenchie, even in the AKC and ABKC, is under a FDIC, some type of federation that regulates the whole French bulldog. Yeah. That it doesn't come from the U.S. So you go, if you read all 100, I believe, in 60 pages of the standard of what a Frenchie is supposed to look like, how it's supposed to move and everything, you'd probably be a little bit harder on yourself.
No, let's just say you didn't. Let's say you were showing Frenchies, right? And you get in the show ring and you come up short of winning, right? What would you be your? I know what my advice would be if I was that person in that shoes. What would your advice be?
Well, I'd be like, what can I do to do better? What were some issues? Do you know?
Yeah, you go to the judge, right, and go, hey.
Ask for direction.
Yeah, I think a lot of people miss that, right?
Of course, they. But again, like you said, I like the candlelight thing.
Yeah.
Because people are not used to losing or thinking that they're winners.
Or they think their vision is the right vision.
Absolutely, and that's something that we even talked about. David and I, we got a chance. He's wearing Martinez Bulls shirt. I had a conversation with him, and basically, one of the statements was the first time he showed blue, he got quite a few points.
Yeah.
And he took basically 3 shows he did, he got third. Kira, I believe that's her name, the handler. She reaches out, and she was handling another dog and beat him, and realistically, the dog's inferior to Blue.
Yeah.
She took the dog. And now Blue basically ain't lost sense
Yeah.
because handlers do matter.
Yeah.
So it's a whole process even when you're looking at from the outside in.
Yeah, because that handler is presenting your product, right?
And they know what they're doing. They're
Yeah.
like professionals at it. She's a 4th generation handler, so
Yeah.
she's been in the game for a long time. And she reached out to her, she was like, oh, he doesn't know when he got there. And that's
Yeah.
kind of like someone who's a great athlete, or
Yeah.
as you know, Caesar and those guys picked up the X-Dog vest and put it in episodes without even asking permission per se, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's sold online, somebody else already purchased it.
But they believe in the product.
That's it, the value of the product spoke for itself, so we don't need permission, we're gonna show you how to really put this thing to use.
Yeah.
And that in itself gives you opportunity to build more iterations of the best stuff. So looking from the outside in often gives us more perspective, and some people need to take a step back so that they can learn better about their product and service. So what I would have done is simply say, what can I do better? What are some things my dog might be missing so that I can work on potentially creating it, buying it, or building it.
Yeah, I mean every experience I had it was like what we call an L here in the game. I remember when I first ordered the vests, right?
Yeah.
My first batch of vests, they fell apart, and they were on pre-order, and they were 3 weeks behind or 4 weeks behind, and me and Steven had to take them to tailors. Which if we would have just spent that extra couple of dollars to do cross stitching, which we do now, and quadruple stitching, we would have had to pay $5 plus driving them time and effort and to go doing all that shit. But we didn't know. We just assumed that they were just going to be a quality stitching vest, And then so that first whole entire batch, I think we didn't hardly make any profit, or we took a loss on that first order, And it was just a crazy experience. But that experience taught us so much on how important stitching is. Then we had issues with, clips breaking. Okay, well, what are we going to do about that? We can either add another clip that could possibly break, or we could make something durable, like, let's say, for example, like a Cobra buckle, right?
Yeah.
We haven't had one break yet, to this date.
That thing is tight in the it's strong in the force.
Yeah, we ran into issues with the parachute, right? The torque of the Malinois and some of these shepherds and these athletic dogs, they were coming out so fast because it was a human-made vest that they popped. What did we do? Okay, how did we do that? Well, ripstop material, more durable netting, metal swivel clip, because we had a plastic clip on there, it was breaking. In addition to, we added a bungee cord, which added dual drag to it, right? And so, innovation, man, you're just going to go through a lot of things. We had gone through 2 years of debating on how the vest doesn't impede movement. Well, we said, okay, let's eliminate that and let's add resistance band across the shoulder. And it just dead set to rest now. Now, there is no debate on that. Whether it was a debate or not, it's eliminated now because it just is, And so, you guys are going to have, I guess, the whole moral of this episode is, have a different perspective, and how you perceive the loss is going to be very valuable.
Yeah, but it's not even just perception of the loss. It's really embracing, you keep hearing about the journey, right?
Yeah.
And getting to know yourself. Most people think that shit doesn't stink.
Yeah.
But all shit stinks at some point.
Yeah.
So you have to really take some introspection. Look at that word if you don't know what it is. Especially when things are going fucking right, which Stan brought up the last time, in terms of honoring your team and building them up when things are perfect, and to tell them, hey, no, things aren't good, so they keep that same energy.
Yeah.
But objectively, the loss comes when you don't want to learn more about yourself.
Yeah.
You're not even here long enough to fucking learn enough about yourself. None of us are here long enough to really fucking figure anything out realistically. We don't know shit. We ain't gonna be here long enough to do it. So when you even talked about legacy, it's about setting up the next generation to really build from there. And when people can embrace that a loss it's not even lessons, it's something you get to live through.
Yeah.
Embrace. Adversity builds character.
Yeah.
It's those adverse times that define who you are, and for that matter, who you fucking not.
Yeah. And why do you think people have such a hard time, having that type of perspective? Or
Well,
when it comes-
nowadays, unfortunately, it's a lot of, everybody wants to entitle. Give
Yeah.
me this, give me that. So,
Yeah.
being here at X-Dog, and watching this guy work, and then, something that Stan said is many times is we kind of have the same energy in trying to get shit done.
Yeah,
So, and then the other thing too, inclusion, but just go back to why they have such an issue, is because they don't have goals.
yeah,
9 out of 10 people, you ask them what their fucking goal is, and they don't have one, man. They really don't, and there's a
That's
lot
crazy.
of people, no disrespect for those that are listening, but a lot of people, and I tell them, contact me, you got questions, hit me up. When I ask the first thing, guys send me a dog, and I'll be like, what do you think of this? I'm like, well, what are you gonna do?
yeah,
What's gonna be your bloodline? What's this? What's that? Who you want to take it? Okay, is that's how she's standing? I have to go through this whole thing with all these little things because they bought a dog and want to be a breeder, but don't know what the foundation of breeding is.
yeah,
And there's a problem. So when you don't have a goal, oh man, you get lost in the sauce, and then you basically living up to someone else's ideology, which is how the whole comparing LeBron to Jordan 2 different times.
yeah.
2 different times, two different intents, but objectively the same goal: win some rings, right?
Yeah.
Be great, but we know one person wants to look at more greatness. The Kobe's of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you right now, I know people can say it all they want. You stick LeBron in that era when Jordan was there, the dude would fucking dominate, man. Like, he's great, but Jordan was also great, to experience and witness him. And I don't think that there was a Jordan. There may not have been someone who inspired LeBron or Kobe, You got to have some, Jordan was the goal, but every goal is designed to be surpassed,
And that part right there, sometimes a goal could be staring you in the face. You want to know what was pivotal to Mike Tyson? He watched The World's Greatest, which is a movie that came out in 1977, I believe. And right after that, while in an institution,
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali walked in. He didn't even get a conversation with him, but seeing a sharp Negro that had his hair comb, professional to the T, he said, I want to be that.
Yeah.
He said, then he got moved to another institution, and the guy showed him how to box. And you know why he got with Gus? Or Gus got him out? It's because he broke the guy's nose sparring,
Yeah.
and his wife was like, you can't fight him no more.
Yeah, because he was training and he got better than him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he ended up
so-
getting better than him.
And then he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna take you somewhere where he can be great.
Yeah.
And Gus pulled back every layer of who he wasn't and gave him a lot of character purposes. And again, that goes back to knowing humility.
Yeah.
And he says it too. He says, I'm in an interview on Sports Illustrated, and when all these guys got makeup on, all these women around me, and Gus comes up and says, don't forget to sweep the gym.
Yeah.
When you're done, sweep and clean up the gym. He said, every moment of humility made me who I am today.
Yeah.
And when he died, of course, that really affected him because he never had a father before. But some of y'all need to know that you've got to learn, and you can't take even someone putting you in your place per se
Yeah.
in the wrong manner, because you never know how many little things can change your life.
Well, to this day, I cut my hair still because I started cutting I couldn't afford haircuts. So in I think it was sixth grade, I bought my first pair of walls. I actually think they were gifted to me from a friend of mine that was staying in the same apartment complex and that my mom was staying at. And I just learned to cut my hair. And every time I cut my hair every week, it's a humbling reminding. I can go for haircuts, right?
Absolutely.
But it's not the point of that. It's the point of reminding me where I came from.
Of course.
And it's a ritual for me, And so,
But you also know where you're going, man, and that just goes back to the goals.
yeah,
And knowing to refresh yourself or just do in remembrance. It's funny because in the church, not funny, but they do communion, right? And on the table often, it's embedded in the table when you take the sacrifice of Jesus. It's this do in remembrance of me. The problem is most of y'all don't know what he's been through.
yeah,
And you ain't gone there, and you haven't put yourself through hell
Yeah.
to know that heaven really exists.
and thinking that, that's why I tell people, I was man, growing up was hard as fuck.
That part.
Yeah, and then just growing a business we talk about it all the time, entrepreneurship is not easy. Being a business owner is hard. That's why some of you guys online, man, you guys got to take it easy on these people because you don't know. You're not just affecting them just to fulfill your ego because you had a bad experience on a $50, $10, $20 meal or a product. You know what I mean? You don't know what that individual's going through. And then, you don't know who they're hiring you. They have kids. They have people that they're employing. It's almost such a narcissistic mindset to be an individual. I don't, if I have a bad experience with, say I go to a restaurant, I have a bad experience, I don't fucking go online and give them a bad review because I had a bad experience. I just let them know, hey, listen, man, I didn't really appreciate this experience. You know what I mean? And this is what you could do better being a business owner. I know you're probably going through some things,
Yeah.
but I just don't do it, man, because I'm a business owner and I know it. And right now, there's so many entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship is growing so drastically right now. And I think a lot of people are starting to realize, like, fuck, I'm a business owner now, so now I'm in the shoes of the people that I used to fucking harass and hate online, and you know what I mean? And now they're like, that was probably one of some good learning experiences for them as well.
Of course, and I tell people all the time, get out and experience as much as you can. The more experiences you have in life, the more you learn. You can read every book on earth, and not even the Bible is going to prepare you for what's going to happen to you in this life. Life is a fucking bitch, and no book can save you. That's the facts.
Yeah.
You have to, and you hear it, and you've heard it from others. Save yourself, but that means you gotta learn.
Yeah.
And you gotta go do something.
Yeah, which means also pick up a bunch of different books, you know?
Yeah. Again,
You know,
I'm not saying they hurt you. I just know from experience, I can quote every line in such and such, this book or that book, but there's nothing like living through something, reflecting on it, and you're gonna be better because of it.
Yeah. You know, there's one of those other things too you had brought up earlier about, you know, constantly making the same mistakes over and over again. You know, those who continuously do that, man, I had some people that constantly did that and I just swept it under the rug. But after learning from those experiences that ended up being bad, right? Like we ended up parting ways and stuff.
Bad behavior.
Well, we created systems.
Yeah.
You know, okay. You know, now we have HR, you know, and stuff like that, where it was like, we didn't have that. We was basically like, I took you on your good faith and your word, you know? And don't do that in business. Like, keep everything in contract and keep everything, don't have those hard conversations. Have those hard conversations.
And you know, it's not the conversation that's hard. It's only hard with someone who don't want to learn about themselves. That's the hard part, is them saying, oh, I'm the evil, or being self-righteous in nature.
Yeah.
Like, I tell you this, somebody says, what are you afraid of? Pride. A prideful person frightened the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I ain't scared of you pulling no gun on me, no dog coming after me. But pride, someone who's full of pride is frightening. Because you can't tell them shit.
Yeah.
And if they're in your business, they'll ruin it.
Yeah.
It's really that's because they can do no wrong.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And you end up paying for it.
Yeah. Well, and again, too, you know, like being in business, you're going to have the people that love you, you're going to have the people that don't like you, right? Like, just as the bottom line is learning how to find your pack and your crowd and your audience, you know. It took us a long time to figure that out until I actually experienced it, you know. And then I started experiencing it, I'm like, I don't have hate hardly. I mean, maybe a little bit here and there, but not like it was the first 3 years coming into creating the best, you know. Now it's I'm in the right communities. I'm surrounded by people who believe in the product, you know, and you got to have that type. You got to have people that believe in your vision and in your mission and your product. Obviously, you have to believe in it, right? But it's important to be surrounded by people who also see the vision and believe in it, because if you don't, you're going to be surrounded by people who think they deserve what you have without putting in or paying those dues.
So let's reverse the question, and we'll try to take it somewhere else and kind of close out at some point. But what's the best loss you ever took then?
The best loss? Whoa.
Here we go.
Damn, that is a really good question. The best loss. Who? The best loss as far as learning experience, or the best loss?
Whatever comes to mind. What's the best loss you've ever taken?
Ooh.
And people, this is a question you need to ask yourself. You can listen, because you got to lose.
The best loss. Holy shit.
When J. Cole said it, every saint is a sinner, every winner got to lose.
Man, that's hard for me to answer, dude. I honestly don't know. Like, I never thought about that. I'll bring that. You know what? I'm gonna give me some time to mull this, and on the next episode, I'll bring it up. I promise you. I need to really think about it, because I gotta dive deep. Because here's the fucking thing, man. Like, I've compounded so many micro losses now that I have less macro losses. You know what I mean? I mean, I could say, okay, my best loss is, financially, right?
Yeah.
But those are all learning curves, and I've dug myself out of it.
And money you can always get back to. It's the time, it's the energy, it's the love you have for a person that sucks the life out of you.
Yeah.
The money you get back, I'll sell such and such, be right back in the same.
I would say, you know what? This is what I would say. I would say that the best loss I've ever had was learning not to hire friends, learning how to hire people, because I felt like it took me a while to get over some of these situations where I felt the people that I hired were genuine friends and they weren't.
Yeah.
And that stings.
And what you
Especially when your intentions are in the right
go
place.
look up the word genuine too. Look, I love defining things. My dad made me do it, but when you really look at even the definition of care,
Yeah.
like that's one of the best definitions. Like you don't want to cause harm to nobody else. Like you can. I'm like, God, that's.
I mean, I don't know how much like a better friend I could possibly have been by putting myself.
Listen, people. Sometimes our topics get a little bit longer. We don't want to cut it just at 30. If we're really rolling, we keep this thing going. Therefore, at the end of our YouTube, you will see, hey, jump on the links listed below. Follow us on Spotify,
Sure.
Apple,
Sure.
where else? Google,
Wherever else you guys
Wherever-
listen us at.
yeah, wherever we're listed at, and continue to follow and listen to the show, whatever we're talking about. Hopefully you enjoy the topics. Stay tuned. Appreciate you guys' support.
Yeah, and as always, man, leave us a comment, subscribe, share. In the comments or in the reviews, also, leave us some topics that you would like us to discuss. We don't hold back. So if you want us to talk about something, be sure to leave it there. So as always,
Team X Dog Strong.